All right, welcome to Talkin Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk to you about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. I also want to talk about the Fed, the job rates, interest rates, layoffs, and I also want to talk about the coming Bitcoin rally. So if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it's making a huge difference for the channel, so I appreciate that. Lastly, if you want to become a member of the channel, you can hit the join button on the YouTube page. Members get some additional members-only content. In addition to that, we do a members-only live stream once a week on Tuesdays. Also, members get to pick a video for me to do a deep dive on each week. So we'd love to see you there. Let's talk about Bitcoin and what I think is going to be the Bitcoin rally. But first, I just want to take a minute. It's Thanksgiving in the United States, so I really wanted to say thank you to everybody, and I am appreciative of what's gone on with the channel over the course of the last year. It has been a brutal, brutal year in investing in the year 2022, so I want to thank everybody for sticking with it. I want to congratulate everybody who is still in the game, and I want to thank everybody who's still in the game and grinding away at what is a very, very difficult market. Especially, I know a lot of you guys are with me in the Bitcoin mining companies, and that has been particularly brutal in the year 2022. 2022 has been all about the Fed, so that is why I'm going to talk about that today. But again, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank my subscribers for subscribing, everybody who leaves comments, and lastly, of course, I'd like to thank the members for supporting the channel. So I appreciate everybody. I want to keep going. I want to round out the rest of this year strong and have a big year next year as well. We've had a lot of hard times behind us. I think we may have some more bumps in the road ahead of us as well. You know, I want to look at this thing realistically, but I appreciate everybody for sticking in there, and let's just stay with it and let's see what the next year brings. So thanks again. Let's get to Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to start by looking at the big board. Of course, today the US markets are closed. So this is where everything closed yesterday. The Bitcoin miners were very green yesterday. So if you look at the big board, everything except DigiHost was in the green. DigiHost was down 5% on very, very small volume. So I'm really not reading anything into that at all other than just a lack of buyers. The rest of the board, there were some big moves to the upside. It was a very nice green day. Bitfarms was up 5%. HUT was up 5.5%. Riot was up over 10%. Marathon was up just almost 1%. So they lagged a little bit. Core Scientific was up 10%. However, the day before they were down massively. So that didn't even get them back to where they were 2 days ago. GREE was up almost 10%. Iris Energy was up almost 10%. And TeraWulf was up 33% for no reason that I'm aware of. So if you guys know what is going on, this stock crashed the day before. It's way back up. And so really, over the last 3 days, I'm not sure it's really moved at all, but it's had these gigantic up and down moves in the middle. So anybody who knows anything about TeraWulf or what may be going on there, feel free to drop that in the comments. Mawson was up 14%. Cypher up 9%. MicroStrategy was up 5.5%, so that's a big move for them as well. You can see, especially if you're in the United States, you're getting a day off here, and it's very nice to end on a green day. So in the rest of the world, if you're still trading, good luck. I hope it's a green day. Okay, so it looks like on the Canadian exchange anyway, the Bitcoin miners are a little bit green today, so hopefully that's what's happening around the world. Tomorrow, obviously, the United States will open back up. I'm expecting a little bit of a relief rally. Big surprise. So I've been saying this for a long time, but this is the window I've been pointing to. It is finally here. We got sidetracked. We're actually a week and a half into the window that I thought was going to be a relief rally. But obviously on November 8th, the FTX situation hit, and that just threw everything sideways for a week and a half or 2 weeks. I'm not saying that situation is behind us, but I do think we have about a 2.5 week time frame until we get November's CPI data on the 13th of December. The Fed meets on the 14th of December. So those two events will be the next catalyst. And by the way, those could be positive and we could continue to rally. So it will depend. But in the meantime, there seems to be some optimism building around what's going to happen and what the Fed is going to do at their next meeting. So that's why I think we do have a chance at a decent rally in the next few weeks. So I'm a bit of a broken record. Again, obviously, this is not financial advice. I've been calling for a rally for a while now, but this really is the period that I've been most focused on. So hopefully, let's see if we can get that rally. If I look at Bitcoin on a 15-minute time frame, you're going to see, as always, there's an orange line from where the market closed yesterday. So Bitcoin was around 16,600 when the market closed yesterday. It's almost right exactly in the same spot right now. It's fluctuated up and down a little bit. It just so happens we're within about $10 or $15 of where we were yesterday. So we're at around $16,600. This seems to be the point that we've been stabilizing at since the FTX crash, which did take us down to $15,500. So we were much lower than this. We'll take a look at that on the larger time frames. So for me, the last 24 hours, again, is some sideways activity. Some of the technicals are really starting to look good. I've been a little bit ignoring them because the news cycle has been dictating the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to the point where fundamentals and technicals have been out the window. But if things have calmed down a little bit, which it seems like they have, it's possible maybe that will take over and we'll get this relief rally we're talking about. Okay, so if I move out to the 4-hour time frame, you'll see on these 2 days, this was the 8th and 9th of November. So this was the FTX meltdown and collapse. This took the entire cryptocurrency world down with it. So Bitcoin in these 2 days took out its lows from the summer. So in the summer, we were at this red line, which is at around 17,600. That was the 2-year low for Bitcoin. That had held strong for 5 months. So it looked like we were moving away from that line in the right direction. The FTX situation hit, and it was a game changer. So we had some massive volatility. We hit a new low. We got down to around $15,500 on the 9th of November. We've been going a little bit sideways now. Over the weekend and on Monday, the 21st, there was a lot of fear around Genesis and really more so the possible contagion over to Grayscale. So we actually retested the lows of 15,500 on Monday, but to me, it looks like they held very strong. I did do a Grayscale video if you want to know what I think is really going on there. So to me, that was a lot of fun. But the good news was we retested our lows and they held. So we are now right back up to about 16,600 where we've been ever since this FTX situation has settled down. So I am looking to see potentially, what I'd like to see is to get back over this line at 17,500. There's a few points in the middle that I want to pass. 16,800 seems to be a little bit of a sticking point. Obviously, we would like to get over 17,000, but really, what we really need to do sooner than later is get back above what was the summer lows, because I think that was our natural low. This 15,500 to me, I think, was an outlying event. It was due to the FTX situation. Now, there may be more situations like this to come, so there's no guarantees, but the market did absorb this one, and then with Genesis, when the next one came along, it seems like the market bounced right off of what is now the new bottom. So it's always dangerous to call a bottom because with external events, if something dramatic was to happen to, just for instance, Binance or Tether or any major thing in the crypto world, we could get another one of these short-term, brief, new lows. But I'm not looking for that to happen. In the absence of that, over the next few weeks, I think we have room to run. So this is Bitcoin on the 1-day time frame. You'll see we did bottom out on the 21st. On the 22nd, we had a nice green candle. Yesterday, we had a nice green candle. Today, we're just about even. It's green at the moment, but it's been fluctuating somewhere just about even all day today. So that's a nice 3-day rally. More importantly, I have really not been looking at the technicals at all, but I did want to show you that back on November 8th, that was the day the FTX situation hit. We had a bearish crossover on the 1-day time frame on the MACD. We have been bearish ever since. So today, it looks like we are having a bullish crossover. So you'll see this small green candle right now, and that represents today on the MACD. So if this bullish crossover holds, that would obviously be a good sign from a technical standpoint that we have some room to run on the upside, because again, we had a bearish crossover at the FTX situation, and we've been in the red on the histogram ever since. So I did just want to show that one technical. I've been steering away from looking at these for a while. Okay, and then I wanted to just show you a couple of different articles and some pieces of information that I think are going to be helping Bitcoin have a little bit of a rally, as well as the overall market having a little bit of a rally in the short term. Okay, so this was in the Wall Street Journal yesterday. Fed minutes show most officials favored slowing rate rises soon. Policymakers have signaled plans to dial back the pace of interest rate increases while warning rates could rise to somewhat higher than expected levels next year. So what they're saying is over the course of the next year, we may need to do a little more than we thought we needed to do. But however, we think maybe it's time to slow down right now. So we just had 4 in a row 75 basis point rate hikes. That is a historic run, particularly since we were going from about 0 to begin with. So this has been a drastic move by the Fed. You know, most people think probably they started a little bit late. You know, they called inflation transitory for about a year and then realized maybe that's not the case. But they did jump on this with 4 massive rate hikes in a row. So now all of a sudden the possibility of a 50 basis point rate hike seems to be more realistic. I did think they were going to do a 5th 75 basis point rate hike, but they're starting to get some cover. They need to be able to show some data that's giving them some reasons why they can back this down to 50 basis points. And again, that doesn't mean that they're going to slow down and reverse. They did say, we think maybe we'll have to even go further. Ultimately, we're just going to slow down. And that is what the market wants right now. So if they do that, then this 2 to 3 week rally that I'm talking about could turn into a longer relief rally than that. If we get a 50 basis point rate hike, I think we could see this rally continue. So that's what I'm looking for. But in the meantime, the market is trading on this optimism. 2022 has been solely, completely about the Fed. So as we look at these CPI reports, inflation reports, unemployment reports, the Fed has 2 mandates, and they are essentially their inflation and unemployment. So unemployment has been a non-factor for the entire year. So they've been able to fixate on inflation. And that's why we've had this historic series of rate hikes. But if you look, this just came out yesterday as well. The U.S. weekly jobless claims at a 3-month high. So now if you read into this, a lot of this is tech, and they're saying some of it's seasonal, but the fact is this is something the Fed can point to and say, hey, okay, we're starting to have some problems here now on the unemployment side of things, because remember, this is a dual mandate they have. These mandates are equal. They have been able to ignore the employment piece of this because employment has been so strong, but we're starting to see some crack. Okay, so this is an article from about a week ago on NPR. It's the end of the boom times in tech as layoffs keep mounting. So we have had a series of very big layoff announcements. They talk about Amazon in this article reporting 10,000 potential layoffs. Meta, which is Facebook, 11,000 potential layoffs. Since then, Google, which is parent company Alphabet, has come out and talked about 10,000 potential layoffs as well. So these are gigantic layoffs, and these are high-profile layoffs. So with this type of narrative starting to creep into the conversation, this does give the Fed some cover to potentially do a 50 basis point rate hike, and that would extend our rally. And that is the reason we're rallying right now, because there's optimism that it looks like it's shaping up. The Fed's going to be able to do this. We're now at a 75.8% chance that the Fed is going to do a 50 basis point rate hike, because there's still this 24.2% over here. If we do get the 50 basis point rate hike, that should cause a continue in the rally. So obviously none of this is a given, but in the meantime, this is the trend, and this is what we're trading on from day to day, unless another catastrophic thing happens in the cryptocurrency world. So I'm hoping for a little bit of holiday spirit, a little bit of quiet in the news cycle, and maybe a little bit of a holiday Christmas relief rally. So I'm going to leave it on that note. Again, thank you everybody for being a subscriber, for watching the videos, and supporting the channel and sticking with it. For those of you in the US, have a happy Thanksgiving. For everybody else, have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell and smash the like button. Okay, thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.